Everybody, it's part two of Citadel. Let's talk about the scam and how they do this. It's called front running. It's called skimming sometimes. What they do is they get in front of your order and they shave milliseconds through fiber optic cables. And because they're seeing your order, they can drive the price up and it costs you money. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're on the phone right now, right? And you order 4 small pizzas and they're $10 a piece. And within seconds, you get 2 pizzas filled at $10. But they raise the price. Somehow they raise the price of wheat dough, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese. So by the time the second order gets filled, it's now $15 for a small pizza. They make $5 per order. That's how the scam works, right? These milliseconds that they're shaving off makes them billions of dollars, tens of billions. It's that speed advantage that they can skim from on the top. And they don't give you trade confirmation. If your broker does not offer you a trade confirmation slip, you're getting screwed over. They have to by law. They have to tell you, they have to show you and tell you what they filled at and to who the market maker was, who filled the order, all that stuff. All right, so keep that in mind. I said this to you guys before, and I'll say it again. Hedge funds are not financial institutions. They're intelligence agencies. How powerful is information? Let's really think about this for a sec. If you knew that, let's say Facebook is having a really bad quarter, that their projections are down by 30%, which means the stock is going to plummet. Or you knew that the FDA was not going to approve this new heart medication that this pharma company has been boasting about for the last 8 months, or if you knew the CEO was caught lying about something, or there was a merger or an acquisition coming, and you knew the direction the stock was going, how powerful is that information? Well, it's worth billions, right? It's worth billions. You can put in calls and puts and do whatever you want, and you'll make billions of dollars doing it. Huge money. Because Citadel is both market maker and a hedge fund, they can screw you on both. Okay. How do they do this? They have very questionable methods. Obviously, they lie. They do pretexting. They bribe people. They blackmail people. They surveil people. They hack. And they use sometimes phone centers as a market research guide. So let's talk about this for a second. So let's really dig deep. Okay. First thing I have here is satellite surveillance of Wuhan Tian Hospital. And what these guys do is they count how many cars are in the parking lot and they compare it to other days. So let's say your Ford Motor Company, you're selling to Japan, or you're selling to one other company or whoever, right? And all of a sudden there's an influx of cars from out of state, and your local snitch who's at the car dealership tells you, hey, there's a bunch of people showing up at Ford, all out of state, all from Japan. Can you find out what's going on? And then you confirm it with the charter flight, private jet flight that the company hired from Japan. And, they're a local company that's based out of wherever, and they also confirm it, or they overhear conversations and they pick up on things and they write it down and they snitch. That is the network that they operate on. Surveil and snitch. You have a snitch network. People that are willing to take money in cash or whatever, and they basically keep an eye on things. Anything that's interesting, they give them a call. That money, that information is worth money if it's an actual thing. They confirm it. This person gets paid. This guy right here gets paid. And the satellite surveillance. There are companies out there that do this for a living. They literally stake out parking lots. Okay, so they do this. They know something's going on. Start investigating. Boom, they start doing things. The moles. All right, let's talk about dumpster diving. So they'll pay people, right, money to go through all the dumpsters at a company, show up in the middle of the night, drag all the paperwork out, put it into other garbage bags, and walk off with it. Then they hand it off to people. They say, this is what's going on. And somebody sit there that knows intelligence collections, and they basically put 2 and 2 together. Oh, this drug is going on. This drug is being FDA approved. Call out there, put rather, whatever. And depending on what they find is about how they make their plays. Of course, you have moles, right? The moles are the easiest way. You bribe a secretary that's underappreciated, underpaid. You pay her in cash, right? She works right for the CFO, CIO. She hears everything that's going on in the company. She writes it all down. She meets you on the weekend. She pays you, or you pay her. She tells you everything that's going on. Or they do this. They document. If she gets a document, she takes her phone out, or a little fucking flip phone or whatever, and she takes photographs of documents, high definition, and she passes it off to her handler. That's how they collect market intel, right? Or they do hacking. They will find a low level of security. They'll hack in through the dark web. They'll find hackers on the dark web, and they'll find all kinds of weird stuff. And it's like if they find out there's something going on with the CFO, the CIO, he's having an affair, he's got a bad quarter. The hackers find that information. They sell it to the hedge fund. The hedge fund does it. Now, I'm not saying Citadel does all this. I'm just saying these are techniques that people use, all right, at hedge funds. Relationship building, okay? Call centers posing as intelligence agencies. So one of the things that they do, and it's legal, Point 72 does this, is they have these companies that are owned by the hedge funds, and they call businesses, big businesses, talk to C-level executives or middle management, and they employ them 1099 as consultants in the industry. They pay up, the employee tells all, plays get formulated, and they get made. They have an initial pump of the stock, everyone piles in, and same as the crypto other stocks, it gets deflated, they start short selling, it then crashes down, and before you know it, they made quadruple what they spent on paying this guy, or some crazy amount. Now, they also do relationship building with disgruntled employees, people that are not being treated right in companies, they'll pay them in cash, gullible employees. So I know the story of a guy who was working for a pharma company, and this guy came up and posed as a FDA guy, and said, "Hey, I'm with the FDA. I want you to tell me what's going on in your company, and I'm going to investigate this. I'm having a long-standing investigation." And this gullible person believes this guy works for the FDA, and he's giving them credible information. You're not in trouble, blah, blah, blah. They can do stuff like that. Scams, confidence schemes, if you will. Or they find recently fired ex-employees, right? They'll go on a job search board. They see that they need a new technician because they just fired a guy, right? So what they'll do is they'll find out who that guy is. They'll find him some way or the other. They go to like LinkedIn and they see that this person is no longer employed, or if it's recent, they scan and they say, okay, this guy isn't employed here anymore. Let's talk to him. They get him to break confidentiality, pay him money, and boom, they're good, right? Or they'll just hire someone. They'll find the position way up in the chain, cater a resume with a very smart intelligence analyst, and that person will get that job, and they'll, be a long-term play for them. They get a pension from the company that they're working for. It can be 20 years, and they get a pension from the hedge funds. So anytime something happens, they get money both ways, and nobody knows the better. That's how these things happen. Okay, so that is some of the ways that these guys make money. I want to make one last effort on the financing part. Listen, these guys, SIG and Citadel have billions of dollars. Okay, they have tons of money, and we know that they have tons of money. And I'm asking myself, okay, what's going to happen if these guys who have tons of money don't have access to shares, or they get too expensive, right? And they have billions already stashed away in a war chest, and they're actually able to buy shares at a very low price. Let's say it's in the hundreds of the thousands. It will deflate the squeeze. It'll take longer, right? Well, they'll just start to get down to a certain level where the thing is cheap. So in other words, let's say it costs $1,000 a share, right? And people are selling at 1,000, and the price comes down to 900 or 500. Because so many people sold at 1,000. All of a sudden, they can afford to buy shares through one of the ETFs, and they start shorting again, and the thing goes back down again. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about what would happen if they did that? That's why I always tell people, let this thing get this thing astronomical highs. So there's no way they can afford to buy shares because they're too expensive, and they blow everything trying to bring the stock down. Keep that in mind. That's a very important thing. If they cannot afford to purchase the stocks because the price is too high, then they won't be able to do anything. How does the price get high? By everyone holding. I hope you found value in this video. I hope you learned how they make money. I hope you understand the depths of depravity that these folks will go to. And I'm not singling out Citadel. I'm talking about the entire conglomerates, of hedge funds, because I believe that they're all in bed with each other. Nobody else will talk me out of it. I think they're all in bed. And I think they all look out for each other because they ultimately are in the same business and they need each other to survive. So if you found value in this video, please share it in your sphere of influence. And thank you very much. Al from Boston signing out.